Hey guys, this is Mr. A. Crizzy here, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review on this documentary movie from 2007, and that is the Pixar Story. Now, the plot of this movie is where it talks about like the history of Pixar, how it first got started in 1986, and how their short films were made and how their movies were made as well. And pretty much it talks about like the history of Pixar, from the short films from 1986 to 2006, and from the movies from 1995 to 2006 as well, all the way from Toy Story, A Bug's Life, Toy Story 2, Monsters Inc., Finding Nemo, The Incredibles, and Cars. Yeah, and pretty much throughout the entire documentary film, it kind of talks about like the history of Pixar, like I said. And all the people who are featured in this documentary to kind of talk about like how their movies are made and how the short films were made and how animation got started and all that stuff. So yeah, that's pretty much the basic plot of this movie. Now, what do I think of it? I remember watching the Pixar Story like when it was on TV way back in like 2008 or 2007, and I actually really like this documentary movie. I actually really like it. Yeah, it was on Stars like a long ago in 2007 or 2008 when it premiered on TV. And so for what it was, I actually really like this documentary movie. It's actually very interesting since some people say that documentary movies are boring, but for me, I don't think documentary movies are boring. I actually think documentary movies are very interesting and fun to watch. Yeah. But for this one, the Pixar Story, I really like because I've been a long time fan of Pixar ever since I was a kid. Yep, I've been a fan of Pixar ever since I was a little kid. Yeah, and I still enjoy their movies to this day. Whenever they make new movies, of course, I still like Pixar to this day. And, who doesn't love Pixar? I don't know any people out there who doesn't like Pixar at all, but I'm pretty sure a whole lot of people love Pixar. I love Pixar as well. But yeah. But for this documentary movie, the Pixar Story, I really like, of course, since this documentary feature is involved on the home video release of WALL-E, and I think it's also on iTunes as well, which, yeah, I think it's on iTunes as well. But yeah, I just thought that this documentary was well made, and one thing I learned from this documentary movie was that in the early history of Pixar, like Pixar used to animate commercials for many products to advertise their products. Pixar used to animate commercials before Toy Story, and while they were making short films like Luxo Jr., Red's Dream, Tin Toy, Knick Knack. But then they used to animate commercials, like I said. Like I know they used to animate that one commercial with Tropicana orange juice, which that was involved in the documentary. Yeah, but then Pixar stopped animating commercials after the success of Toy Story. Yeah, and still, Toy Story is still my favorite movie of all time, of course, and now they're making a fourth movie, but yeah. But yeah, guys, so overall, the Pixar Story is a great documentary movie, and I'm going to give it 5 out of 5 stars. It was well made, it stayed true to how Pixar was first made. Yeah. And if you haven't seen the Pixar Story yet, and if you're a fan of Pixar, if you're a fan of animation and all that, or any of that stuff, I definitely recommend checking this movie out. I think it's worth watching. All right, guys, so that's gonna be it for my movie review on the Pixar Story. So hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you're not subscribed yet, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet, and make sure to like this video. And as always, thanks for watching. So goodbye, everybody, and that's about it.